Good day guys from Železnička stanica Shargan. If you are wondering where exactly is this place and what am I doing here, well, I'm in the region of Zlatibor in Serbia, very close to the Bosnian border, and I will be here for the long weekend, Friday, Saturday and Sunday with my mother and my father for my birthday. And we just stopped at one place which will be explained better tomorrow. In this region we will visit the village of Mokra Gora, or the wet forest, if we can translate it literally. And in this village there are two iconic landmarks. One is the Shargan 8 narrow gauge railway, and the second is one city which is built from wood, and it was built by Emir Kusturica, but I will mention more details about these places tomorrow, where we will visit them, and I will also show you the travel with this narrow gauge railway. But today we just stopped at one of the stations of this iconic place, and I want to show you some of the locomotives and also the wagons of the railway itself. As you can see, some of them are pretty old. And here is the train itself. It just arrived, maybe it will depart very soon, and I will be able to show you this also. Generally this train travels just 2 times a day, one in the evening and one in the afternoon. As you can see, it is a very small train. It has just 4 or these are maybe 5 wagons and a small locomotive. Let me check if it will depart soon, and if it does, I will also show you this. As you can see guys, here we have a real coal, because most of the time this train uses modern diesel locomotives, just like the one that you saw a few minutes ago. But this installation, it is still working, and it is used to load coal to the old locomotives. These run very rare, only few times a year during special occasions, but they are indeed still operational. I will try to get a bit closer to one of these and show it to you. Here is a closer view of the modern locomotives that they are using. As you can see, these are just normal diesel locomotives. They are just small and with narrow gauge. The passengers just got back up at the train, so I suppose that it will leave very soon, and I will be able to show this to you. This is how the whole train looks. Tomorrow I will also show you the inside of it. But before that, I want to show you one of the old locomotives that we have here on the right. this seems to be not only a museum one, but in fact looks pretty good, and most probably it is operational, but they use it only on special occasions. Here is how it looks, so that you can see it. And I think that we also have another one on the other side, which doesn't seem to be in such a good shape. Yes, here we have some more locomotives, but this one, I don't know, for me they don't look to be operational. Maybe they are having some repairs of them. Well guys, welcome to the Mokra Gora railway station, from where we will take the train tomorrow. But before that we will check the exact timetable, and if it is possible we will buy tickets. Let me show you why this place is called Sharganska Usmica, or the Shargan 8. Here you can see the whole railway, and it really resembles an 8. This is because the incline shouldn't be too steep for the locomotive to climb, and they needed to design such a special path to avoid very steep inclines. Here is how the train station looks. It is much more like a tourist attraction today than a normal railway station. As you can see, you have a cafe here. Maybe this is even not a cafe but a restaurant. Everything is in very good shape, very clean. So let me check if we can buy tickets. And here we have another map of the Mokra Gora region with the railway itself. By the way, it turned out that you can buy tickets only for the day, so we will have to do that tomorrow in the morning. Around 10:30 is the first train, and at 1 p.m. there is another one. The price is 1,500 Serbian dinars, which is something like 12, 13 euros, something like that. This is how our accommodation looks. This place is called Apartmani Milev, or the Milev apartments, and currently the owner is still not here. He is coming to open for us, but I want to show you how beautiful is the courtyard, and in general the buildings themselves also. I don't know how they look from the inside, but from the outside they look pretty good, authentic, old. Of course, these are new ones, built for the tourists, but anyway, they did it pretty well. So guys, it turned out that we are in number 1. This is how it looks. We have very lazy cat outside, and they just left the key on the door, so we will see the owner, but a bit later. Here you have very good table under the shade, which you can use to drink a cold beer, and I will also show you the inside in a bit. So guys, here is how the inside looks. This is the entrance, the door. Here we have very comfortable looking sofa, table, TV, air conditioning. Here we have something like a small kitchen. You can even cook if you want. We have a fridge, so that's pretty good. Here is how the bathroom looks. It is a bit compact, but it looks pretty clean and will definitely do the job. And let me show you the second floor with the rooms. You climb these relatively steep stairs to reach it, and you have 2 rooms, one on the left and one on the right. This one on the left is the bigger one and can technically accommodate 3 people. And here on the right is the other one, which has 2 more beds. And there is place even for a small kid if you have one. So for this we are paying 120 euro for 2 nights, which makes it very cheap at just 20 euro per person per night. For me this looks like a pretty good deal. We now have to wait for the owner to come to give him the money, and after that I will hit the streets and show you more from the village. So guys, this place is rather small, the whole village of Mokra Gora, and it is mainly focused on tourism and of course the railway, but the railway itself is also part of the tourism now. Tomorrow I will give you more information about it, but before that I want to show you that many of the buildings here are built from wood. Here we have a very beautiful monastery. Yes, the main building is of course not wooden, but we also have a lot of wooden structures here, and the place is very beautiful and very well maintained. And also the other focus of the region here is on the railway. Let me get to another interesting place in a few minutes and I will show it to you. Here we have a typical wooden house. In fact, this seems to be a place where the sheep are held during the night. As you can see, it looks pretty ancient and it is still used till today. But yeah, this kind of construction looks very beautiful, but it requires a lot of effort to be properly maintained, because the wood just needs care. Every year you have to do some restoration works in order to keep it in good shape. As you can see here, even the railings are made from old rails from the railway track, which is pretty impressive. This seems to be relatively old. I don't know when exactly it was done, but yeah, definitely this place is very tightly related to the railway. So guys, it is Friday evening, it is about the right time to go to the restaurant, but before that I need to show you some more railway related somehow legacy here. This is a very old Chrysler 1955 model as far as I see. You can see here New Yorker Deluxe, and it is not a normal car, but it is modified to run on the railway tracks. I don't know if this thing really ever cruised like a train on the railway tracks, but anyway, it is a very interesting project. And here we have some kind of an partially open air and completely free museum related to the railway, which you can see. We have some interesting old photos from the time when the railway was built around 100 years ago initially. As you can see, it is a pretty impressive collection of pictures. You can see the old steam trains, which I showed you earlier. Some of them are still working. Here you can see the nostalgia train. Most probably one of the locomotives that I saw earlier was related to that. And here we also have some other objects from that time, Let's check what is this. This seems to be, I don't know, maybe some kind of sport-related achievements of the municipality. Here we have another map of the whole railway, the Shargan 8. You can clearly see the H shape here. And here we have this very beautiful mock-up, maybe of the railway station. It is pretty well done. And in fact this is also a passage towards the railway station itself, where we were yesterday and where we will find our restaurant just in a little bit. And this is the train that most probably we are gonna catch tomorrow in the morning. You can see how it looks, and tomorrow you will also see it from the inside. For now I don't see a locomotive attached, most probably it will be attached tomorrow. But overall this train station is now much more like a museum, a restaurant, a cafe, a tourist place overall, which is completely normal because the commercial value of this railway was finished around the 1970, 1975 in the last century, so now the tourism is the most important part here. So guys, it turns out that the best restaurant is also here at the train station. This place is called Sharganska Osmica, and we are gonna check what they have for food and drink. And of course I'm gonna show this place to you also from the inside. So this is how the place looks from the inside. We are gonna catch a table and we are gonna get some food and drink. Here you can see another mock-up of the train station and also a mock-up of the train itself, which is pretty well made. So guys, you can see that the food here is really big as amount and really delicious. This is called the Shargan 8. It is some kind of a mixed grill, but in a very big pot. And here we have something which is called Puljana vešerica, which is pork fillet but filled with some other things inside. Good day guys, it is 13th of June 2026, my 40th birthday, and I want to show you the mighty river Drina. You maybe are wondering where exactly am I? Well, I am in the Republic of Bosnia and Herzegovina, which is my 44th country which I'm visiting. We just came through the border at the city called Visegrad. Here I want to show you some interesting places just for the day, and after that we will return. In the distance you can see the very beautiful bridge over Drina, but I'm gonna show this to you a bit later. And here is how the river itself looks. As you can see, it is a pretty big river. And before entering a place called Andricgrad, or the Stone City, which I'm gonna show you in a few minutes, I want to give you some information about the country. As you know, after the wars for the dissolution of Yugoslavia in the 90s, the Bosnia and Herzegovina is practically split in two between Republika Srpska, where the Serbian people live, and the other part of the country where the Bosniaks and Croats live. Here we are in Republika Srpska. So technically people from both sides of the border are the same. They are Serbs. Most of them are Christians. And the place which you are already seeing in the distance is a city which was built by Emir Kusturica, the famous Serbian filmmaker, who is also from Bosnia. He was born in Sarajevo. But let me get a bit closer and I will give you some more information about this place. Here we have a little bit of closer view of the bridge. I am gonna zoom a bit with my phone now to try to show you the bridge from up close, because it is very beautiful. In fact, this bridge was built in the year 1577 by Mehmed Pasha, and I will also show you in a bit the monument of Mehmed Pasha, which is very close nearby. Here we have a very beautiful garden with the statue of Mehmed Pasha. This bridge is a typical example of Ottoman architecture, and as you can see, it is very well built because it is standing even today, 500 years later, almost 500. And here is the statue of Mehmed Pasha itself. And here on this wall we have a very beautiful painting of Ivo Andrić, the person whose name bears the Andricgrad, which we are gonna see in a bit. So guys, one interesting technical detail that I want to add is that this river Drina is in fact the border between the Republika Srpska and the rest of Bosnia and Herzegovina. This is something that I didn't realize earlier, so this is some kind of internal border within the country. But now let me give you some more information about this place. Andricgrad, this is the name of a construction project which was realized by the Serbian film director Emir Kusturica. He is a very famous Serbian film director, and it is dedicated to the Yugoslav novelist and Nobel Prize winner for literature, Ivo Andrić. I showed you the very beautiful painting on the wall of the building earlier, so that you know how he looks. This place is completely free to visit. There are no tickets. You are just paying for the parking, but I don't know how much we will pay. We will see that later when we leave. So the construction of this place started in 2011 and it was finished 3 years later in 2014 on 28th of June, which is a very famous holiday in Serbia called Vidovdan. So that's pretty much about it. It is not completely finished, but most of it is ready. I don't know if it will ever be finished completely. As you can see, it is of course a modern place, but it has very ancient vibes. And it is very closely related to the other city which I'm gonna show you later today at the other side of the border, which is called Drvengrad, or the wooden city. This is the stone city, and on the other side in Serbia you have the wooden city which was built earlier. Both cities were built by Kusturica, and both are unique places that I think deserve to be seen. This is the main entrance of the Andrićgrad, and here we have a very beautiful statue of the brothers Sokolovići, the Mehmed Pasha, who built the bridge. He was the ruler of the region, and obviously his brother was the Christian priest that ruled the city, so it is pretty interesting. One of them was most probably Muslim to become the ruler during the Ottoman rule, and the other one was priest. And by the way, Emir Kusturica is a person who always advocated to have peaceful cooperation between the different people living on the Balkans. and that's why all his projects, including this one, they are very diverse. As you can see here, you have more like Byzantine and maybe Ottoman architecture, if we can call that. It is called the Byzantine part, but in fact it looks pretty similar to some Ottoman buildings that I have seen. And the whole street that I'm gonna show you now is the main street of the city. Here you can see it. We have a lot of places to eat, restaurants, souvenir shops, just like you can expect from a typical touristy place, but it is in fact very good that you don't have to pay ticket to visit this place. It's very impressive. And also, if you are wondering what the prices are here and what currency they are using, the official currency of the Republic of Bosnia and Herzegovina is the so-called Bosnian convertible mark, which was tied to the German mark before the introduction of the euro. Approximately one Bosnian mark is around 50 euro cents. So the prices that you see in marks, you can just split them in half and you will see the price in euro. Let me stroll around and find some more interesting parts of the city. Here we even have a cinema, and this is in fact not a mock-up, it is a working cinema. As you can see, there are even a list of films which they are gonna broadcast. So yeah, definitely a very interesting mix of things here. You have some Byzantine looking buildings, you have some Ottoman looking buildings. So overall a very good idea of Kusturica and also very good execution of the idea. And here we have also a statue of Ivo Andrić himself, to whom the city is devoted. As you can see, he died a long time ago in 1975 during the Yugoslavian times. And here we have a statue of another very famous person from Serbia, Nikola Tesla, the famous scientist and inventor who lived between the middle of 19th century and the middle of 20th century. This architecture seems to be Greek, another interesting mix. And we will now enter the second part of the city, which is not completely finished as far as I know. We are gonna check this in a bit. Yes, this building doesn't seem to be operational. We have here a statue of Peter II, Njegoš. I don't know exactly who this person was. And we have also a very beautiful church behind it. So that's the end of Andricgrad, the backside of the church, and also the very beautiful Drina river, which you can see once more. And now we will try to also show the bridge, the famous bridge of Mehmed Pasha from up close. This is a very pleasant restaurant directly over the Drina river, as you can see, and it is the perfect place to have this good draft beer here right at the bank of the river. Well guys, we are on the other side of the Drina river, the other bank. First thing that I wanna do is to have a correction here. Earlier I told you that the Drina river here is the border between Republika Srpska and the rest of Bosnia, but in fact I double checked and this is not true, because yes, Drina is a border, but not in this part of the country. So we are still in Republika Srpska, the Serbian part of the country. Now, as this is corrected, I want to show you a close-up view of this very beautiful bridge, which we discussed earlier, the Mehmet Pasha Bridge, built in 1577. It is a really beautiful bridge, and as you can see, this region is very well done for a walk. You can sit here, there are some benches ahead of us. You can enjoy the calm of the river and also the fresh air coming from it. And the bridge itself is also very beautiful. These Ottoman bridges resemble very much the way Romans built their bridges, with these arches where the stones support each other and you don't need any other special architecture. As you can see, there are also a lot of boats. Some people are fishing here. Overall, a very beautiful place for a walk. Here you even have a tourist map of the city showing the most interesting places that you can see here. The bridge, Andrićtown, and some additional other old houses, churches, mosques, and so on. So guys, we are slowly going back towards Serbia, but before that I can't miss the chance to try some Bosnian beer. Unfortunately, in the store where we stopped, which was rather big, I couldn't find the typical Bosnian brands like Sarajevsku, for example, but I found this. This is called Kastel, and it is produced in the Banja Lučka Pivara. Banja Luka is the capital of the Republika Srpska region of Bosnia, so let me check that. Well, this is a Pilsner. Of course, it is not a Czech Pilsner, it can be compared, but is on the better side compared with the normal lagers in the region, so I consider it a good. And the price, frankly, I don't know what exactly is the price, because I paid around 3.5 marks for 2 beers and also for a yogurt, so maybe it is something like 1.5 marks, which is very cheap. On our way back to the border, I want to show you this very beautiful Orthodox monastery, which is very close to the border itself. It was initially built in the 14th century, and there are some surviving frescoes, paintings in the big church inside from that time. Unfortunately, we won't have the time to go inside, but even from the outside it is very beautiful. So I want to show you this place, which will be the last video from Bosnia. And there is also an old steam locomotive here, which frankly I don't know why it is located here. Maybe here we will have some information. No, this is some information about the bridge itself, but I don't know what exactly. Anyway, here is the locomotive itself, which looks pretty well preserved. This is the same narrow gauge railway, by the way, that comes from Serbia, from Mokra Gora. It initially reached Visegrad, where we were just a few minutes ago, but now this section is not used very much, unfortunately. So that's about it, guys, from here. Bosnia was definitely an interesting place, despite the fact that I only spent a few hours here. But I will definitely come back and will try to visit also the other part, which is the Bosnia and Herzegovina Federation. So guys, while I'm showing you this very beautiful view of the region near the border, here is another beer that I found. This one is called Nectar, and it is again by Banja Lučka Pivara. So let me check it. This one is pretty standard lager, frankly nothing to write home about, but yeah, we are here, so we should check it.